Support for Another Round comes from Squarespace. Go to squarespace.com today for a domain experience that's transparent and easy to set up. Just make sure you enter offer code Another Round at checkout to get 10% off. Make your next move with Squarespace.
Hey everyone, Eleanor from the Pod Squad here. I just wanted to share with you some very exciting news, and that is that Another Round is having a live show in Chicago, and we want to see you there. Join us on June 21st at Thalia Hall for a live taping of the podcast. It's going to be amazing. It's part of WBEZ's Podcast Passport series. And tickets go on sale on Friday, May 5th. And for more information, go to wbez.org/events.
I need to take a quick break.
You got it.
Blow my nose.
You got it.
Y'all can't bring any Kleenex up in here. You gotta have toilet paper.
Yeah, I really don't know why we don't have tissues instead of
That's
toilet
it's kind of a bad look, y'all.
You're not wrong. It is.
You know what?
You're not wrong.
Take the roll of toilet paper.
It's like, don't mind me, y'all. Don't mind me.
Just roll a few squares out. And
Well, the problem with this, Ambassador Rice, is that I'm just too real. You know, I don't know how to.
This is the problem here.
I just want, because we're on the radio, I want to make sure people understand what's just.
Oh no, everybody! First of all, this isn't even my roll of toilet paper. I took this from another office that we're not even in right now.
You know, I think you think that's like an argument for you, but.
Ouch.
Hi everyone, I'm Heben.
And I have a wad of toilet paper stuck up my right nostril.
Hi, wad of toilet paper.
Hey, this is Another Round with Heben and wad of toilet paper stuck up my right nostril.
You sound amazing, Tracy. I don't know what you're talking about.
Listen.
You don't look like you have a tampon coming out of your nose. You definitely don't look like that.
For our confused listeners, I almost died about 5 minutes ago. I almost just floated.
She straight
away.
up had a fainting spell.
It was not that dramatic. I didn't actually
Did
faint.
you see your arm?
No.
And the way it lay against your forehead? Like you were fainting in a Victorian novel.
I thought I was dying. Excuse me.
Honestly, it was an emotional whirlwind.
It was. I'm fine now, though.
Even
I'm
just as a
better-ish
spectator.
now.
So I'm glad we made it through.
Thank you for your support in this very difficult time. So where are we, Heben?
We are in DC, the BuzzFeed DC office to be exact.
Hi, BuzzFeed DC. What are we doing on the show today?
Yo, it's jam-packed. We got Ambassador Susan Rice. We're in DC.
What?
We out here.
In DC again.
Yes.
Tag team back again.
Hey!
Let's begin.
All right.
Little throwback for you.
And before we get into all that, though, wait. Before we get into all that, though,
Wait.
we gotta talk about Twitter.
Twitter. What did it do now?
Oh,
Twitter.
it was the white supremacists.
White supremacists.
Back at it again with the white supremacy.
I'm making the disappointed dad face.
Yes. Tracy, have you been on the internet lately?
I've been on the internet about twice in the last month.
Okay.
That is a lie.
Why?
I'm on the internet right now.
I know
live on
you
the
are. I know
internet.
you're tweeting right now somehow.
Hey. Yeah, I've seen the internet before.
Okay. Okay. Lately, I've been noticing a lot more. If you just mention the word Trump or just like anything political, a white supremacist bot will be all up in your mentions.
RIP to your mentions.
Yes.
And it's definitely gotten worse since Trump has been elected.
Absolutely.
For sure.
So I was a little bit tickled when I saw this. Tickled and also terrified.
Ticklefied.
No. Exactly. Sorry, took me a second to take that one in.
See what I
Ticklefied.
did? Yeah.
So, yo, I'm dying because now the alt-right,
Or as we like to call them, motherfucking racists.
yeah, white supremacists, as they were known 5 seconds ago.
Right.
But they got a little rebranding. They're
Somehow
out
they got
here.
a marketing department now. What the fuck?
One of their favorite white supremacist websites is dailystormer.com.
It's my favorite, personally.
My fave. My personal fave. So they are feeling away because Twitter has been censoring more people who have been spreading all those crazy conspiracy theories.
Mm-hmm.
One of them being Pizzagate.
Right.
It's not even worth repeating, to be honest.
I love how Twitter is like, Pizzagate, that's an outrage. Let's do something about it. But
Yeah.
when black women are like, hey, people are sending me death threats and rape threats at all hours of the day, they're like, can't police the internet.
Anyways, so they're salty because one of their people's, his account was blocked.
Mm-hmm.
So to fuck with Twitter, they're like, we have to infiltrate Black Twitter because we know Black people disproportionately make Twitter pop.
We run Twitter.
They know.
Have you looked at you today? Yo, Twitter popping.
So they're like, we got to infiltrate them. And of course, they like wrote this down and we can clearly read it.
So they wrote like a how-to guide.
And
how
then
to
sent
get
it to
all
us.
up in Black Twitter, basically.
How to be a nigger on Twitter guide.
And that's a nigger with the hard ER.
With a hard ER. So their primary goal, they say, we choose to create a state of chaos on Twitter among the Black Twitter population by sowing distrust and suspicion, causing Blacks to panic.
Okay, here's where you fucked up. Black people are born mistrustful.
Right?
Especially
That's
if
called
y'all.
living.
Right.
Okay.
So we did that for you. Congratulations.
Next. This will create a serious problem for Twitter as Blacks make up a large percentage of their user base.
True.
And the way they handle it, and they will handle it poorly,
Also true.
will cause a media spectacle. So they have a real game plan. You start with, decide whether you want to be male or female. Female is easier in terms of trolling, though it might be a hard character to play. They cannot imagine a human woman.
No. They probably don't know any.
So that's
or
what
Black
we're starting
people, which
with.
we'll find out later.
If you're not feeling creative, which thank you for
It
catering.
sounds like a really bad infomercial. Are you tired?
Are you a white
Tired of finding
supremacist who's a
racist
little bit
things
lazy?
to Twitter?
If you're not feeling creative, you can just use a standard name like Shay, Melita,
Melita?
Jay, or Mike.
Okay.
You can also just make up random stuff like Jinky Slip,
I'm sorry.
Flex Fist,
What?
or Goldie T.
Excuse me? What? Wait, are they related to Shifty Do Money and what was it? Iceberg? What was that
Smoothie.
one?
Okay, get it
Smoothie.
straight. Iceberg.
Excuse me.
Young
Apologies
iceberg
to
lettuce.
Smoothie.
And then the best line is you can also use a funny Black name like Darnell or Shanika.
Because
Like 4 words ago, we didn't just say Jinky Slip.
those aren't funny though.
Okay, so they have these very specific methods to infiltrate.
Right.
So here's a tactic. Always claim that you know people in real life. Blacks are not really capable of grasping the concept of the internet as a worldwide platform, as they cannot
Which
grasp.
you said right after saying we basically run Twitter. So
Right.
Get it together.
You salty or not? Okay, here's an example of how you too can act like you know someone in case you need a sentence written for you. You're that lazy of a white supremacist. Okay, here are some examples they give you.
Okay.
Bitch, I seen you out there every day.
Oh shit! Somebody must have seen me because
You
Otherwise.
think I ain't know who the fuck you is? You got me fucked up.
Oh my gosh.
That is how you convey to another Black person you know.
That they have seen to you out in the world. This
I'll
is
catch
just
you.
laughable.
Next one.
Uh-huh.
I seen you, nigga, and I be seeing you again soon.
Oh my gosh. See, have I ever ranted about the use of the impersonal be and how white people fuck it up all the time?
I actually think we did on this very show.
Great example.
Great example.
example.
Other tactics they suggest.
Mm-hmm.
Start sex-related drama.
Oh, yeah. Let's dim the lights.
To be honest with you, I was very intrigued when I read this. Like, ooh, what they got cooking?
Like, go on.
It's like if white supremacists wrote erotica. That's what I was imagining.
Oh my gosh, the saddest erotica.
Put the hood where?
No, leave it on. Leave it on tonight.
Just the robe. Oh, Chad.
Yeah, I wonder if clan robes have like little dick holes in them.
Oh my God, if you're
For
feeling
sexy
kinky.
time.
Ooh. All right, so this is their idea of sex-related drama. Nothing like what I envisioned. All sex-related drama works. A good one is to accuse Black men of being secretly gay.
They hate that.
You can also accuse a Black man of having sex with white women in front of a Black woman.
I hate when that happens to me.
They are very sensitive about this. It feels like they watch like a Bravo show.
I seen this on Real Housewives of Atlanta. They're gonna get real bad.
So some sample sentences if you're feeling lazy. Bitch, you best come get your man. He be at my house every damn day trying to get up in this pussy.
Okay, first of all, call the police. If he's on your property every single day, that's
Also,
stalking.
is it Donald Trump?
Ooh,
Ooh,
might be.
ooh, bloop, 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 bloop. I just love that you think like someone's gonna read that and they'll be like, they're talking about
Right.
a person that I know.
Oh, let me call my man right now. Excuse me, whose house you been over every night?
Whose pussy have you been up in? The just that sentence construction.
Yo, I wonder if we copy and paste these exactly and put them in quotation marks and do a Twitter search, we'd see people who like literally just
we're too
search
lazy
it.
to literally change anything. So, okay, their next strategy is make them believe you have information about their drug deals and drug stashes.
Oh, snap.
Stereotypes are all generally true. And the stereotype of blacks doing and selling drugs is one of them. So they're like, yeah, that's a good one. You solid, can't go wrong.
Yo, you're right, they do be selling drugs.
So again, this is what you would say to a fellow black that you know.
Uh-huh.
Bitch, you think you be retake. Bitch, you think you be moving large, but you got no fucking clue how we do in insert name of city.
Okay, first, I just want to point out that I love how they make it easily customizable.
Yes, they're thinking of you.
White power Mad Libs.
Yes. My favorite one is next. Claim that you heard their mixtape and it sucked.
Yo, but of all of the ones that will work, though, that's it.
All right, here's their explanation.
Wait, they really think all black people
Another
have
true
mixtapes?
stereotype is that black males are all quote-unquote aspiring rappers.
That's true. They got one thing right.
The read of a century. Oh my God. You can bring up their mixtape and they will think of you. And they will think you know them. Even if they don't have a mixtape, they will still.
Wait, what?
Even if they don't have a mixtape, they will still become angry because you said something that they did sucked.
Oh my God.
Like that is their idea of
This is their idea of what blackness and black people really are. And that's because they don't know any in real life. All the people on BET, yes, they all have mixtapes. That's why they think that.
yeah, that's accurate only on BET.
Right.
You know?
Only on BET and only among all of my ex-boyfriends. Otherwise, not a reliable stereotype.
All right, here's their example sentences though of how you would talk to your fellow black about their mixtape.
Sure.
Hey nigga, I heard your
I'm
tape.
listening.
That shit was whack AF. Here's some other ideas they have for you.
Uh-huh.
Bitch, who produced your shit? This shit sucks. I finna lay it down. You wanna go to I'm imagining like a beatbox off. We're just chilling on a stoop, about to have a beatboxing
I'm
fight.
finna lay it down.
Oh my God. Nigga, your track is whack. You ain't even know how we do out here in insert name of city.
Yay, White Power Mad Libs is back. I missed it.
It's funny because it's growing around the nation. Bitch, you best give up that rap game, start slanging crack again. That was a sharp pivot. A sharp pivot. I wasn't ready.
Oh my gosh.
Yo, bruh, I rhyme better than you must sleep.
Okay, that's kind of a nice burn though.
Is it?
Nope.
Is it? Nope.
It's funny because they really think that we are that dumb and that they are that smart. Like we're gonna bring down this whole shit by ourselves. For real?
They won't suspect a thing.
Right. Also, do you know how people be like, all these Black Lives Matter protesters, why aren't they at work? Why don't they have jobs? Why don't y'all asses have jobs?
Right,
You
this
were
is
on
like,
Twitter.
this is deep. This is involved.
Right.
There are many levels. You got to get like
Y'all
a proper
plan
photo.
this out.
Like that's a lot of time.
It is.
Who has the time?
Get you some jobs. Get you some business.
My favorite was that Black Twitter came up with this hashtag Black Twitter verification questions that are like basically a way to tell if it's a real Black person or a
It's
fake
like-
account.
When I was in school, the way that we learned about stranger danger
Oh gosh.
is
Where's this
like,
going?
they were like, if a grown-up comes to school and tries to pick you up and they're like, hey, I know your dad, you're supposed to like have like a secret question between you and your parents. Like,
Oh shit.
that's what this is.
Okay, this is the secret question.
This is a secret Black question.
You come up real close to them and then you say, oh yeah, we A, knucking, B, bucking, C, ready to fight,
Oh, all of the above.
or D, all of the above.
Bam, I'm in there.
Tracy,
I'm
D,
in
all of the
there.
above.
Verified.
Please play the classic track.
Nuck if you are buck.
Yeah, we nucking and bucking and ready to fight. I bet ya I'ma throw them dice away. That's best to think twice.
This is what we like to refer to as our Black national anthem.
Mm-hmm.
Put that on in a club, in a room, in a party, in a office, anywhere. Guaranteed.
And
Great
then
time.
the table's being thrown.
Excellent time.
Very soon after.
Can I ask you some more questions?
Please.
Complete the phrase, beans blank potatoes, tomatoes.
Oh,
Beans, kale.
no.
Beans, greens.
Maybe.
Beans, eggplant.
What?
Beans, eggplant, potatoes, tomatoes. Beans, spinach.
I'm going to go with, what was the letter? B? Greens.
Greens.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yes.
Black AF. That's what I am.
Play the classic track.
I got beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, lamb, ram, raw, beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, chicken, turkeys, rat.
This is a real, it might be a deep cut to some. I'm curious if it's a deep cut to you.
Oh, man, the pressure.
No pressure. Which American rapper was able to rhyme the word mansion with Wisconsin?
Oh, my God, I don't know this.
So when
What
you
are the
hear the
options?
song, there are no options. This one is
Just
a freehand.
shit.
That's why they fuck your shit up.
Oh,
No more multiple
no.
choice.
I don't know this one. I'm too old.
So
Can I
when you
use
hear
that
it, no. When you hear it, you're gonna be like, you know.
Uh,
It is a one T-Pain in Better Believe It.
Girl, ain't nothing to the pain, ain't tricking if you got it, what you asking for? Put you in a mansion, somewhere in Wisconsin. Like I said, ain't nothing.
You know, honestly, at first I was like, how are we gonna find humor in Trump's America?
when you have absolutely nothing left, you at least have humor.
Oh my God.
And this was a good day for humor.
Look at black people prospering despite the trash.
Despite people being like, black people don't know how the internet works.
While
Got
saying
y'all
they
up out
run
here
that
talking to
shit.
me, Right.
Which is it.
I know.
This has been our probably going to be weekly white supremacist segment.
This week in white supremacy.
Yo, I need a skinny mic. Even
Ooh,
though
like a
people
Bob
can't
Barker mic?
see it, I need the
Yeah.
mic
Okay.
to get into character.
I still have to buy you a Christmas present, so bam.
Oh my God, yes. Can we expense it?
Yeah? Don't tell Illinois. It's really, really interesting that Twitter, which is something that a lot of us got into for fun, is now a matter of like official national security. It's also kind of scary because when you think about who uses Twitter, So we're going to be talking with National Security Advisor Susan Rice about Trump, Russia, fake news, and all of that crazy shit. Support for Another Round comes from Squarespace. With Squarespace, you get a unique domain experience that's simple to set up and an all-in-one platform to help you create a beautiful website. Which brings me to a game of Would You Rather Internet Edition. And here is where we invite Tyler Sorensen from BuzzFeed's creative department into the studio to ask me one hard Would You Rather question about the internets. Hi, Tyler.
Hey, Tracy.
What's up?
Not much. I have your question, though, if you want to
Let's
answer
do
that.
it. Let's do it.
Here it is. It's, would you rather your employer see your search history or your parents?
Easy answer. I would rather have my employer see my search history because I can blame it on working for a company as strange as BuzzFeed. Like, oh, I had to look up this very embarrassing thing because I'm researching it for a post. But I would have no excuses for my mom. I mean, I guess it could have been just be like, no, it's for work.
So you don't really care who
I don't
sees
care.
it. Okay.
Show it to the world. Get your unique domain today at squarespace.com. If you sign up for a year, the domain is completely free, and you can also save 10% off your first purchase with the offer code Another Round, as in the title of the wonderful show that you are listening to right now. Make your Make your next move with Squarespace.
Yes, shall we cheers?
Cheers.
Cheers to 2017, y'all.
Oh, Lord. Let's
You know
knock
what?
on
This
some
is
wood.
tasty. I like it. What is this?
A Pinot Noir.
Thank you for drinking with us. That's
Hey,
real.
it's
That's real.
after hours, so it's
Yes.
good.
And thank you
Yes.
for forgiving someone for getting the wrong kind of
That's
wine.
okay.
Okay. You are
Close.
benevolent and
As I
merciful.
said, it's high quality. It's just not exactly the right.
We got
thing.
the high
That's
quality
good.
part.
That's all
down.
good.
We out
We're
here.
good.
We out here.
We are. Okay. I feel like we're all pretty close and like family by now, right? I feel like we've had a
seconds
journey.
in.
So I'm going to
Sip
start
of
with
a
this
drink.
question. Safe space. You can be honest.
Yeah,
Has anyone ever tried to touch your hair without permission in the White House?
Let's just jump
No,
right into
definitely not in the White House.
But elsewhere?
Well, growing up.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like since you became Ambassador Rice, like nobody's trying to touch
Nobody
my hair
would do that. in decades.
You are blessed.
That's beautiful.
Blessed.
When was the last time you were mistaken for Condoleezza Rice?
Ooh.
Ooh, that happens.
Ooh,
Really?
Man, I was joking.
That was
I think the last time was my first trip to China. National Security Advisor. And this was hilarious, actually. The Chinese National Network was reporting on my visit to China. The National Security Advisor Susan Rice meets with President Xi Jinping, and they put up Condi's picture.
No.
Right?
Yo.
It was like,
oh my God.
they've got
I don't
it
know
right
which is
since.
which.
They've got it right since, but that was almost funny.
It was almost funny. Close.
I love that. Wow. Okay.
But it does happen. And then my mom
Wow.
gets upset because sometimes people will say, "Oh, you're Mrs. Rice. Are you Condoleezza Rice's mother?" And she's like, "No."
I'm got another question.
oh my gosh.
But in all honesty, I've known Condi for many years, and she's been very kind and generous to me. So there's no dissing of her. I'm just saying that
Of
yes,
course.
sometimes people get confused, which
Yes. Gets tired.
That's not on
That's
you.
all right. In
It's on
China,
them.
what do you expect?
So we're 1 month away from inauguration. My goodness. Yes.
Exactly 1 month, right?
As of this taping, exactly 1 month.
Okay.
Whew. Okay,
Yes.
everyone, deep breaths.
Yeah.
Deep breaths.
Are you worried?
What a loaded laugh.
I'm listening.
Worried about what?
The coming administration, I would say.
I'm terrified.
I have to be a little bit careful because
course.
we're doing this in my current role. But yeah, as a mom, as a citizen, as a voter, this is not what I voted for. And I think there are a lot of reasons to be questioning what's coming next. And many of the things that were said during the campaign, I think, left a lot of people questioning where they'd fit in an America under Donald Trump, particularly people of color, particularly women. And I think that doesn't go away just because I'm National Security Advisor. Having said that, my job is to work as best as I can with the people who the Trump administration has designated will come and fill behind me. And I've had constructive meetings with my designated successor, and I'm going to do my best at President Obama's direction to provide them with all the information and all the preparation that we possibly can, because our job is to make as responsible a handoff as we possibly can for the sake of the country and the American people. And I take that very, very seriously. So I have to separate my personal concerns from my professional responsibilities. And I'm hopeful that the things that we are concerned about prove to be concerns that we don't need to be worried about, and that indeed that where we're headed is a place that is able to sustain, I think, the very important progress we've made under President Obama, and that there's a clear-eyed recognition that governing is different than campaigning, and that it comes with a whole different level of responsibility, and that we'll see the kind of decision-making that we think this country needs and deserves.
What kind of conversations have you had or are you having with your kids about the election?
I have one kid who's a freshman in college on the other side of the country. Told you I was old. Y'all are babies.
Not what I was saying.
Y'all are babies.
Thank you for calling me a baby. I never have.
And so he is, off in his own little universe.
New bubble.
And I've got a 14-year-old daughter who's an 8th grader who is home and, whom we get to interact with on a daily basis. And she's the one that I hear more stress out of. And, we just try to be as honest as possible. We are patriots in my family. We are believers in this country. We're believers in democracy. And we're trying to explain to her that, this is the outcome of the election. It's what the American people decided. It may not be what you would have chosen, but we all have a responsibility to be active citizens and shape our system and our future. And I think if there's any message, whether it's for my kid or this one who's too young to vote, or those that are able to vote, you got to be part of this. You can't sit on the sidelines and read your iPhone and be on social media and expect everything to be cool. You have to be part of this. You have to make change. Change doesn't happen, with people sitting on their behinds, getting lazy. And I think that's a very important lesson to come out of this election.
So your 8th grader is expressing stress and concerns over.
Well, she's a very thoughtful kid. She's very progressive. She's probably to the left of me, actually. But I wouldn't say she's stressing, but I think she's very. She woke up the day after the election, I think, quite stressed and traumatized. I think she's sort of now taking it in stride, and she's more in the spirit of what are we going to do about it. So she's going to be in that Million Woman March on the 21st.
I would dare say might have gotten that trait from you.
Maybe.
There are so many interesting ways that people have described you and the way you work. Let me give you a little sample.
Oh wait, you just took a breath and closed your eyes for longer than a blink. Where did that come from? What was that for?
Got my head.
I know.
Listen, ready. Wait, what you got?
Sharp elbowed, which I'm not even sure I know what that means. Brusque, blunt to a fault. Do you think you're blunt to a fault?
Do you have sharp elbows?
What are sharp elbows?
So sharp elbows means that you
you're fighting.
You can throw an
Like
elbow.
dropping bows
think
on
about.
people.
Yeah.
We're citing ludicrous is what you're saying.
Think about on the basketball court if you have to throw an elbow.
Okay,
that's what
gotcha.
the sharp elbows means. Do
So
I
you
think
box
that's a
out is
fair?
what you're
Do I
saying.
think that's no? It's different. Boxing out is using your booty.
Oh, excuse me. I'm boxing out wrong.
I don't know sports. I'll be very quiet.
Let's move on.
No. I want to. Give me a minute here. I think that those descriptions of me are predominantly from those who have felt that I've been part of decisions or policies that they object to, and that I've frankly been pretty effective in getting to where I'm trying to go on behalf of the president or whatever the circumstance is. Can I be blunt? Yes. Can I be diplomatic? Yes. Can I concoct a mixture of vinegar and honey when the circumstances weren't? Yes.
Ooh, concoct.
So,
I love that verb.
I have a range, and I much rather do things the nice way than the hard way. But sometimes you have to use all the tools at your disposal.
Mm-hmm. We have heard a lot of stories that I think are wonderful about you letting people know how you feel at any given time. Heben's got a favorite story, anecdote.
No, I just love the bird flipped around the world.
Yes.
There's only one.
There's only one.
Only once.
There was this joke on the show Bob's Burgers once about how good it feels to give someone the middle finger sometimes. Sometimes there's no other way you could express yourself but
Sometimes
that
you don't have the
swift
words.
action.
I've only done that once. It was 20 years ago, and it was well deserved.
Yes. Would you like to share this story?
No, you all done your research. You tell the story.
It was glorious and it happened.
Right. Would you like to enlighten our listeners?
There was a rather arrogant, rather would be an understatement, senior official, more senior to me than I was at the time, who was very demeaning and insulting to me in front of the people who work for me. And I didn't appreciate it. And so I, as a young 30-something, expressed that with a nonverbal gesture. By the way, to which he did not respond. He just sort of, it was as if it didn't happen. Everybody else in the room was like, whoa. I've never denied it. It's true. Not apologizing
Not a
for
figment
it.
of your
Who I
mouth.
say I am.
Not apologizing. And as soon as this happened, and the meeting ended, I called my boss, who was then the Secretary of State, and my colleague, the national security advisor at the time, and I said, I just flipped the bird to a member of your cabinet.
Like before you hear it from anybody else.
Yeah.
Here's what
Say it real.
happened,
What's the
and
protocol?
here's why I did it. And you know what they both said?
What?
Good for you.
Yes.
See, listen.
That's the truth. Now I'm busting them, but it's true.
This makes my heart so happy because I feel like for women of color, especially Black women, when you are someone who is known as being sharp-elbowed and brusque and whatever,
As
to
they
a fault,
say.
right, as they say. Whenever we are firm and whenever we stand up to somebody else who's speaking to us the wrong way or is just out of line, that usually gets read as anger, and nobody wants to be the angry Black woman.
Well, let me just say a couple things. First of all, I was 32 at the time, 33 maybe. I'm 52 now. I would not do that now. I would, but again, I'm not apologetic for what I did then in
Yeah.
the circumstance. And fortunately, I don't have to deal with this person anymore. Having said that, I think there are ways to express one's discontent that are a little more subtle than that. And I've learned,
Sure.
I've maybe learned a few things in the last 20 years. And so I'm not recommending that method to my young sisters.
Right, and you're not apologetic about it now, which I think is amazing. How did you learn to not be apologetic for things like that?
I mean, I'm apologetic when I feel like I've made a mistake and when I have done a disservice to myself or someone else. But I don't feel a need to apologize for doing or saying something that I think needs to be said just because it may not sit comfortably with somebody else.
Is that just like a personality trait that you came into the world with?
That's a good question. I think to a large extent, yes. But it's also, I think, a function of being raised in a family where people are open and not afraid to express emotion, not afraid to disagree, have an argument, but all in the safety and the support of family. I've had a decent amount of self-confidence from the time I can remember, and I think my parents helped instill that in me from a very early age, and my brother too, for that matter. And I've been very lucky to have had a supportive family, a great education, enormous opportunity and challenge. And I've taken my knocks here and there, but I believe my intentions are good. It doesn't mean everything I do is perfectly executed or I don't make mistakes. Of course I do. I like to think that with me, what you see is what you get. And you can like or dislike it. That's up to you, but it's straight. And that's something that I've pride myself on.
Can we talk a little bit about the person who is replacing you? Dun, dun, dun. Transition
Not
time.
much,
Okay.
truth be told.
Okay.
We'll see what we can get out of you.
So your successor is retired Army Lieutenant General Mike Flynn. Have y'all done like the toss off the baton thing? Like here are the office snacks.
Here's a fridge. No, we've met
Okay.
a couple of times. We've spoken on the phone, and we're in the process of doing what I hope will be a series of meetings where, they ask the questions they have, we share the information we think they need to have, and it's, it's a pretty intense process. We've also prepared an extraordinary amount of written material for the new team to digest, and
style
we've
guide?
really
Like a style guide? What kind of?
style guide.
I mean like best practices. Here's how we do things. You should try it.
We're in charge of national security. There are a few issues out there in the world that they need to be up on that may not be
Sure. That
issues
makes
you
more
can
sense.
necessarily derive from reading the press. And
So like a manual. Here's how you.
it's not a manual.
Everybody
It's
say.
like issue A through Z. Here's what you need to know. Here's what we're doing. Here's why we're doing it. Yada yada.
Do you worry at all that Trump hasn't been that interested in doing his security briefings as the national security advisor?
Let me stop y'all right here
Okay.
and say I'm the sitting national security advisor. I'm not going to.
Have to ask.
This was a good try. I'll give you credit.
Respect.
It's good.
Respect.
Yeah.
We got
Yeah,
Moxie,
yeah,
you know?
get
We got
credit.
Moxie.
But I'm not going there. I'm not going to discuss the president-elect. I'm not going to discuss my successor in any depth. I will say what I said before. Our job is to be as responsible as we can, making sure they have what they need, they know what they need, and that they have the wherewithal to succeed on day one. What they do on their side is up to them, and I'll come back in 6 months. How about that?
All right. Okay.
We have you on tape saying that.
Yeah.
So if you don't
It's
actually
being
come
recorded.
back in 6 months, we gonna find you.
We have receipts. Yes. While we have you, we definitely want to talk to you about Russia, fake news, whatever. What's happening? Do you feel like the U.S. has been prepared for what happened with Russia, with them interfering in our elections through just like fake news on the internet?
And just like the internet in general.
Just through the internet in our casual lives.
Yes, to a great. I mean, first of all, we are well aware, and we have been for a long time, that there is a real threat from adversaries, state actors, non-state actors, to hack us, influence us, destroy stuff through cyber means. So the cyber threat has been understood for a while. It's long-standing.
Do you feel like the
It's a
press
concern.
covered that enough?
Well, there's two different things. One, do we know that we face a cyber threat from adversaries, whether state actors, terrorist groups, folks trying to hack for, economic gain? Yes. And we have put in place a large number of tools to try to prevent that and to respond to it. But what you just asked about whether the press reacted to it enough is a different question. On October 7th, the Director of National Intelligence, the Secretary for Homeland Security, put out an unprecedented statement outlining the fact that the intelligence community, that's 17 intelligence agencies, had come to the high confidence conclusion that the Russian government was involved in hacking to influence our electoral process and hacking and disseminating of information. That was an unprecedented determination. They also said that it's our judgment that that couldn't happen without approval at the highest levels of government. And I do think that the fact that the press found it more interesting at the time to report on Secretary Clinton's emails or President-elect Trump's videotape comments about women or a large number of other issues is, in retrospect, probably a missed opportunity, and the fact that they did not focus on this issue to the extent that we thought they would and they should is something that I think the press needs to do some introspection about. And I'm not suggesting that there weren't other things going on that were interesting and attractive to the news media, but that determination that the Director of National Intelligence and the Secretary of Homeland Security made was very direct and very clear. And for the press not to give it the sustained attention that it deserved, and meanwhile continue to give great attention to the product of these hackings, I think is something that we all need to be concerned about and look back on and ask ourselves what we can learn from that.
Russia tried and succeeded, many would say, to undermine our faith in our government process, our election, our systems, and our incoming president seems to be pretty pro-Russia. Do you feel like he has the ability or is equipped to deal with this properly as president?
Well, again, I'm not going to comment on the president-elect or how he's going to govern or and frankly, we don't know. We're all in the same situation. We'll all wait and see. I do think that the fact that Russia was doing what they were doing ought to concern all Americans. And I do not believe that it influenced the mechanics of the election. I think we're quite confident that people's votes were cast and recorded as they were meant to be. There was no physical manipulation of the outcome. But what's harder to measure is the extent to which it affected people's perceptions and judgments. And I'm not in a position to measure that. I don't think, frankly, anybody is. But it should not be a casual consideration that a foreign government, particularly a largely adversarial government, attempted to have an influence. And I think that's something that, as President Obama has determined, we need to understand and share with Congress and ultimately share with the American people. And as he said also, and I agree with this, that it's not just what Russia or another foreign government might do to try to influence us, it's how we enable ourselves to be influenced. Mm-hmm. We've got to be a much more cohesive, resilient, unified body politic to withstand the kinds of challenges that are coming at us from all kinds of international actors, whether it's terrorists, whether it's state actors, whether it's cyber criminals. We have to know who we are and know what we believe. And I think one of the real issues that we're faced with is how we consume news, how the media is perceived, how fake news, which you referred to earlier, is gaining a degree of currency without criticism that is dangerous in my judgment. Mm-hmm. And what it means at the end of the day is that all of us as citizens have to be consumers and judges. We can't let others judge information for us. It's not the day in which I grew up a long time ago, where we had 3 news networks, no cable, no social media, no internet, where what you see is what you got. We had basically straight journalism. We don't have that anymore. We have some straight journalism, but then we have opinion and perspective. And I think a lot of people, especially young people, don't know how to tell the difference and aren't motivated to tell the difference. People are consuming the news that is comfortable for them, not necessarily the news that is real or that they need to know.
Mm-hmm. One of the things President Obama also said was that we'd retaliate. What could that even mean?
We have a whole variety of tools to respond to governments or other entities that we think have acted in a way that violates our interests. And in the case of this, we have said from the beginning that we will respond in an appropriate manner at a time and in place of our choosing, and that some of what we do in response may not be visible to the public in every instance. And so I think the American people have to understand that we take this seriously. We're going to respond appropriately. And just because something doesn't go bang doesn't mean that we haven't done what needs to be done.
I know that we're running out of time and we cannot let you go, I'm sorry to tell you, without talking at least a little bit about Syria. And for this next question, I'm going to read a little bit. In the 90s, you said, quote, "I swore to myself that if I ever faced such a crisis again, like the Rwandan genocide, I would come down on the side of dramatic action, going down in flames if that's what was required." But you've also said that Rwanda and Syria are 2 very different situations, and that the, quote, dramatic action wouldn't be appropriate in the case of Syria. What, in your eyes, would it have taken for Syria to become a Rwanda to the administration and actually follow through on the never again?
Well, first of all, I think the equation needs to be dissected.
Okay.
Rwanda was a horrific, pre-planned, premeditated genocide that occurred over 100 days, and up to 1 million people were killed, largely with machetes, house to house. And it was shocking in its speed and its scope. And Rwanda at the time was a country of maybe 7 million people. So imagine the toll that took. The world wasn't focused. And the genocide snuck up on most people, not everybody, but most people, and happened with lightning speed. And the international community was completely paralyzed in deciding how to respond. The United States had just literally 7 days before the genocide occurred, removed the last of its American forces from Somalia. And so the last thing that was on the minds of members of Congress, the administration, the press corps, was a new intervention into a place even less known than Somalia to try to prevent a genocide that was happening literally house to house with machetes. And so I'm not making excuses for the United States or for the international community. I saw firsthand the tragic results of our failure, collective failure to act. But that was very different from what's happened in Syria. Syria is a civil war. Syria began as a popular uprising, just like the other experiences in the Arab Spring, with a repressive government that responded by basically killing the protesters. And it's not a genocide, it's a war, and there's a difference. Genocide is a pre-planned attack on people because of who they are. This is an inter-state conflict.
So the definition of genocide has nothing to do with like the number of casualties?
No. It's not about number. It's about intent and method. And the question for the United States from the very beginning is, what can we do about it in Syria? And should we intervene in the middle of a civil war, post-Iraq, post-Afghanistan, in the Middle East? If we did, what would that involve? Would we, try to put ground forces on the ground and separate folks? Would we fight Assad? Would we create a no-fly zone? And I think, personally, the judgment that the president made that it is not in our national interest to become involved in another civil conflict in another Middle Eastern country with forces on the ground or even an air campaign made sense and makes sense. What we have done is when the threat has been directed at the United States, i.e. the terrorist threat from ISIL or Al-Qaeda in Syria, is to go after them.
So it would take a threat against the United States for us to get involved in Syria?
We have gotten involved in Syria to defend our interests.
To respond with that sort of dramatic action.
I think that was the right choice. I think for us to have gotten in the middle of the Civil War, as brutal and painful and traumatic as it is, would have been a wrong choice. Now, history will debate that. There'll be some people who say we should have done it. And maybe, with the benefit of hindsight, folks will come to a different conclusion. My own strong personal view is it was not in our interest to get involved in another complex civil conflict. It is in our interest to try to deal with the terrorist threat. It is in our interest to provide massive amounts of humanitarian assistance, and we're the by far the largest contributor of $5.5 billion. It was, I think, arguably in our interest to support the opposition that was fighting Assad, but not to take that fight on ourselves. I will say that this is, in my opinion, the toughest policy issue I've ever seen. There are no easy answers. I don't profess that we've gotten every decision point on every decision tree right, but in the broadest sense, I don't think we should have intervened militarily against Assad. Is this pew pew?
Yeah.
What you know about pew pew pew? Pew pew pew.
So wait, rapid fire. So how's that? So you want answers?
Yeah.
Okay.
So as you know already, shout out to whoever prepped you for this part. This is pew pew pew. This is our rapid fire question
Finger
segment.
guns.
Finger
Pew,
guns.
Yes.
Quick, fast, in a hurry. What is your favorite cuss word?
We know you have one.
We know you got one. Don't try to.
Don't lie.
Is it the F word or the
You
S
phoning
word?
a friend?
What do
What's
y'all
happening?
Tell me, what do I use more?
Let's take a poll.
The Frank word.
The Frank word. I don't know the Frank word. I know the fuck word. Is that the word?
I'm not
Blink
repeating
twice.
that on the air.
Blink twice.
That's for 6 months from now.
All right.
Okay. What are you reading right now?
My briefings.
At least
No.
someone is.
No.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
Oh,
I'm out here.
lordy.
Please take your raters.
That was good, though. That was really good.
I read a ton of paper every day. I
I
read
can
the
only
newspapers.
imagine.
I read my intelligence materials. I read all the briefing
still read
materials. I
print?
read the paper. Yes, I read the newspaper in hard copy.
Okay.
Is there any leisure reading you do? Like,
Yes, I do leisure reading, but I don't get to do it like at 1 a.m. when I'm getting up at 6 a.m. So I do most of my leisure reading on vacation and on airplanes and that sort of stuff.
what's the last animated TV show you've watched as an adult?
Animated TV show? I have no idea.
I'd recommend
I mean,
Bob's
you're talking about-
Burgers.
Yeah,
Wait, no,
Bob's
I'm not
Burgers
watching
is
any
bomb.
TV shows.
You don't watch
frankly.
any TV at all, like
Here-
ever?
Okay, so truth be told, we have time for this? It's not pew pew pew.
We got time if you got time.
Let's take a little detour.
Okay, so I almost never watch TV in this job because I just don't have time. So if I'm working out in the morning, I'm on the machine, I'm reading the newspaper, I'm reading some briefing materials. I may well have, on the TV, BBC News, Morning Joe, depending on how aggravated I am by those people. And so that's like maybe a finite period of time.
Sure.
If I might watch football on the weekends.
Okay.
In the background. I might have listen to Trevor Noah or something if I'm up late at night. Not that late, but late.
I don't know. 11:30 is past my bedtime.
And I will sometimes confess this. I do sometimes watch Rachel Maddow and some of the shows on
Rachel.
MSNBC. Yeah, I do
I'm
too.
surprised you watch cable news. To be honest.
Very selectively and only on occasion. And then the thing I don't watch real time, but I love to watch is like I'll binge on Scandal.
Ooh.
I'll watch 3 to 5 episodes at a time, and then I won't watch again for 3 months. That's my kind of rhythm.
Nice. A nice healthy little binge.
But
Yeah.
I have great ambitions for when I get out of government. I will watch a broader range of stuff.
When you're done with the White House, where are you going on vacation? We know
going-
somewhere beachy, but
I'm not telling you.
come on, we want to go too.
Hell no. I'm going far away
strong
to
no.
someplace.
If I guess it, will you tell
someplace
me?
really nice.
Fiji's
and,
nice.
and not cheap,
Fiji's not
and
cheap.
not with
I feel
y'all.
like feet. Oh. You know what? She said y'all not invited.
Well,
let's move on.
okay.
Next question.
I am living for this blue eyeliner. The signature blue.
Teach.
Talk to us.
I would never. I don't think I
have
could.
never
I would
dared
never, like,
with a
think
colored
to.
eyeliner.
What?
I don't know. Where this is an interesting question. I don't know where the hell I got the blue eyeliner from, but I've had it for 30 years.
Really?
Really?
Yeah, and it's the same. It's Estee Lauder Sapphire Blue,
Ooh.
and I like it. And I don't know why. I'm just not.
I mean,
ever
it works.
changed it up.
It draws.
Does it okay?
It draws attention, like specifically
excellent.
to
But
your
does it
eyes.
look blue from where you are? As I
It
I
looks
put on
like-
this morning, I'm like
It has
fix
like
my makeup for
a
you people.
hint of like navy. Like
Yeah,
it doesn't
it's
look like
navy.
It's navy.
It's navy.
Damn, I like it. I would never think to.
I just
And
want
you know what?
to
This
try,
is
but
interesting.
now
This
I'm
is a
like,
good topic. Nobody's ever asked me about this.
We can talk
Really?
about makeup for the rest of the day.
I don't know.
Makeup is like it's your armor.
Yeah, that's what Audie Cornish told us. It's like her
Shout
war
out to
paint.
NPR.
Her war paint. Isn't that what she
war
said?
paint.
Mm-hmm.
Was there a point in your career where you had to make a conscious choice what you wanted your hairstyle to be?
Nice.
Tracy.
I'm sorry. I get
can hear
excited.
you.
I'm
You know
sorry.
what's since I've had a career, my hair has been more or less professional.
But professional
I
is
had
such a
an
loaded
afro
word.
for a long.
So you're permed right now.
Time.
You relaxed right now.
Yeah.
Okay. You think you'll ever
Will you
go
share some
natural again?
pictures?
No. I had an afro, and I'll confess back because y'all are too young to know about this. I had a
remember
Jerry
afro.
curl.
Oh, I remember a Jerry curl.
I don't know her.
Come on now.
I'm telling
She
the
doesn't,
truth.
but
It's
come
terrible.
on. You got to give me a little bit of credit. I know.
That
about
was a
Jerry curl.
long.
wasn't that long. It was in the
That was like
80s.
30 years ago. Yeah, 80s.
Well, I'm about it. It adds up. So yeah, about 30 years ago.
Briefly.
So you had a Jerry
Briefly, short, not like gross and
gosh.
not gross and juicy.
curl. Oh man, did you have the bangs though? Did you have the Jerry
No,
curl?
I didn't have
bangs?
any bangs. No, it's like a fro and a Jerry
Okay.
curl.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
This is so exciting.
I'm
to me.
imagining the bangs. I'm sorry.
Are you sure you won't send us like one picture?
Hell
What if
no.
we promise not to share it with anybody?
Yeah.
What if we don't work for the internet?
So, basically, most days of the week, I pull it back because I don't have time and I can't be bothered.
Yeah.
Because, I don't have 15 extra minutes to curl my hair.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And some of the times when I have to show up late for dentist's meetings because I had to curl my hair.
I have more hair questions. I don't know how much time we have. Do you think you'll ever go natural again? You gonna bring the afro back once you're at the White House and you're like, fuck it?
No.
No?
I mean, I might find something else to do,
Okay.
but not the afro. That's
Not
sort
the-
of
what you got
really
against
old
afros?
school. I think, it's like Angela Davis had been. You know what I mean?
I like Angela Davis.
Yeah. It's fine, but it's kind of like 1970s.
The 70s are back, though.
The 70s are back.
Well, I wouldn't know.
What is drunk Ambassador Rice like?
You will not meet drunk Ambassador Rice.
That's why we're asking what she's like.
No, I'm saying you're not going to be.
Oh, does she not exist? She's not around? She just doesn't exist.
She ain't here with you.
In spite of my best efforts, yes.
Fair.
I'm not. I don't get drunk. I get
Happy.
I'll get a little happy on rare occasion, and then I'm probably dancing if I'm that happy.
Okay. What's your go-to dance move? Do you have one? Body roll? Butterfly? Electric slide?
What are you doing down the Soul Train line?
Yes.
I'm doing what I need to do.
You got a press briefing in
But
one
here's
hand.
the problem.
National
Here's the
security
honest,
briefing in the
no
other.
kidding problem. My knees.
Mm.
My knees. Because I'm an athlete,
about it.
but
I'm not even an athlete and I struggle.
I'm an athlete and I'm twice your age. But, if I go out and really throw down my knees next day, it's
Gotta
not
ice
good.
them.
Should ice them. I'm not smart enough to ice them, so I'm limping around.
Well, speaking of knees and exercise and running,
Speaking of knees,
speaking of knees,
listening.
I'm working on my segues. I don't know how that
And Ned's giving you the high sign. So.
I know. I see. So this is the perfect question to end on. Speaking of knees and running, are you planning on running for any offices in the future?
Stop.
I'm scared of you. I thought
gonna
you were going
segue.
to a lifestyle question. Stay tuned.
Okay. Stay tuned. I like that. 6 months. We're gonna talk about it in 6 months.
Yes.
No.
Brought it back.
You see how
You guys are good. Can I just say y'all are good?
Please say more about how
Y'all are good.
I'm listening.
You're smart. You do your homework, and you're fun to be with. So thank you.
Oh,
I appreciate that. We really.
And these guys will tell you I don't give out compliments.
I can feel it.
No gratuitous.
Cheers to that, friends.
Y'all are good. Cheers.
Thank you. Cheers. This was amazing.
Cheers.
Ambassador Rice, this has been a joy and a privilege. Thank
you so much.
So much. Where can people follow you on Twitter? Because you're on the
At
on the
Ambassador Rice.
Bam. That's great. Wait, we have three more segments. Hey Heben, what time is it?
It's time to buy some rounds. It's time to buy some rounds. What? Ooh, all right, Piccolo.
Is that what that is?
I don't know. Maybe it's a flute. It's a flute.
Huh.
I feel like that's more.
You know what? I think it's a piccolo. I think you were right in the beginning. So if you haven't noticed, I'm dealing with some snot today. I have been dealing with snot for the past 2 days. And today I finally took some medicine. And it was terrible. It was
Tracy's
liquid.
a baby.
I am a very tall 5-year-old. I've just never been able to deal with liquid medicine. Like it's the combination of the sliminess and the texture and just like the thickness.
The texture?
Yeah, it's just like
You
it's
like
just
honey
a,
though.
Yeah, but I don't like eat it by the cupful. Like I don't just like turn it up, you know?
That's true. That's fair.
Yeah, it's
Ugh.
just and also the taste is always bad and it just like gets all like under your lips and stuff and it's like just coats your gums and you taste
Jesus
it forever.
Christ,
I
this is
know.
graphic.
So I say all that to say I am buying around for pill forms of liquid medicine.
Okay.
Give me all the
gel
pills.
or
Either.
anything.
What I do have problems with though is like the little like candy coated Advil that's kind of like sweet when it goes down. Ugh, I hate that, the lingering sweetness. It tastes like something that's sweet because it's like started to rot to me, like a sickening
wow,
sweetness.
That's terrifying. I take those all the time.
No, I mean, you know what? I'm glad that y'all are good together and happy. But all of the gels, all of the capsules, don't bring me any more liquid medicine.
Okay, respect.
What or who is your round for?
You know who I would like to buy a round for?
Who?
Tracy McGee.
What?
I know I just bought a round for you.
What?
I think you deserve another one.
Oh my gosh, you're
Y'all, the
spoiling
journey
me.
we have been on today feels miraculous. Like, I don't know how you made it. I was like, she's not going to make it, y'all. She's got the Victorian fainting chair. I don't know how this will end.
I've been a walking fountain of mucus.
Tracy, you are out here.
I'll be trying.
I'm really impressed.
Thanks. I appreciate all of the rounds.
Tracy, you deserve all the rounds of non-liquid medicine.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And I will accept all of the non-liquid medicine rounds that you have. Heben, we did it.
Tracy, we made it.
Hey.
Never gets old. Never gets old.
It shall never. Let's do the credits so I can go home and go to sleep for 3 days.
God bless your snot and the journey it's been on. Thank you to Ambassador Susan Rice for coming through, sipping some wine with us.
Yeah, so classy. I think she's the first one who has requested red wine.
Yeah, we see you.
Mm-hmm. Shout out to the Pour Squad.
Pour Squad. Burr, burr,
Burr, burr, burr, burr. Mine is sick.
Ooh. I thought it had a little funk beat to it.
Oh.
Burr, 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 burr. You got a tuba in the back. I was feeling it.
I don't know why that got me, but it did. This episode was produced by Julia Furlan and Nina Paddock, with editorial oversight from Eleanor Kagan and Meg Kramer, and production support from Chiquita Pascal. Shout out to our in-house musicians, Miss Jean Gray. You can follow her on Twitter at Jean Greasy, and Don Will of Tanya Morgan. You can follow him online at Don Will. You can follow Heben at Heben Rants on Twitter, and you can follow me at Broken Poverty on Twitter. Holla at us, talk to us on all of the things. Email, Facebook, Twitter, another round on everything. Rate us on iTunes, tell a friend, subscribe to the newsletter because it's the bomb. BuzzFeed.com/anotherround/newsletter.
Drink some water, Tracy.
I've been drinking water forever.
Take your meds.
I did most of that today.
You did good.
I'm trying to live, I'm trying to survive.
We're here trying to function.
Trying to make it to Friday. That's all I'm trying to do. Call your person.
Yes, we're all just trying to make it to Friday.
All right.
What did you do?
What? Bye. Oh my goodness.
Okay.
Okay. Adam.
Tracy.
Reach me by railway. That's her.
Yeah.
Yeah. See? Oh, you was about to sing. I
I
heard
was
it.
going to sing.
We ruined it.
Trailways.
All right.
Take a sled and slide down slope.
There's two problems I have. One is that I'm old school. The other is I have no time to be hip. So I'm hoping my daughter, she can bring me into the 21st century. She's pretty cool.
Did you see RuPaul's Drag Race last night?
Of course I did.
It blew my mind.
It's all I ever talk about, and I can't find anybody to talk about it with, so I am so thankful that you're here.
I mean, you have become my RuPaul's Drag Race soulmate, and I am thrilled that we have a new podcast at BuzzFeed called The Library, where this is all we talk about.
Here, it truly is RuPaul's best friend race.
I could not agree with you more. So join us every Saturday as we recap the latest episode of Season 9 and gag over TV's best reality show.
Tune in wherever you find your podcasts.